I'm Jessica Lowry, and I'm the founder of CLAV, LLC. We're a limited liability company in Austin, Texas. And I basically specialize in social good projects through my company. We design services and products as well as events that help connect people and hopefully get them more engaged and active in their community. Choosing Austin, for me, it was sort of a toss-up between Portland and Austin, and then that came down to a lifestyle choice as far as the city that I wanted to live in. But as far as starting a company, Austin won out because the affordability is a big component, but also the fact that there's so many people coming to Austin to do startups, and you kind of have that sense of camaraderie there that you don't necessarily get in other places. I've been working in digital media and technology for about 15 years and worked on all kinds of different projects for clients and also in-house. So I worked for National Australia Bank for a long time, Bureau of Meteorology, the Environmental Protection Agency, and out of all the projects that I started to do, I really liked the government ones the most because those were the ones that I felt like actually had the most value to regular people, and you get to design services for a huge portion of the population, whereas when you're working on more sort of like commerce or revenue generating businesses, you're sort of looking at specific demographics with marketing and segmenting and all that kind of stuff, whereas for government, it's for everybody, which interests me a whole lot more. You can reach more people, and I wanted to create a company that kind of tapped into that a little bit. I have not had any funding, but I have been working really closely in collaboration with the City of Austin, and they are my biggest stakeholder in one of the particular projects that I'm working on, which is called Key to the Street, and it's an urban planning service that you use through your phone. Many people within the Public Works Department has contributed feedback and requirements for that product, but I've pretty much been meeting with individuals across the organization of the city for the past 2 years, so they've been a huge component in what I'm doing for sure. Basically, through the experience of creating Key to the Street, I discovered that there's a lot of women in Austin who are doing startups, not necessarily similar to mine, but they definitely have a community aspect to what they're doing. And through hearing their stories, I thought it would be pretty awesome to create a magazine where we sort of collect these women's stories and these experiences that people are having and distribute that out. So Velma launched in October 2014. We hope to be a monthly publication, and we tell stories about women in technology in Austin. I mean, anything. Like today or this week, we tried to submit our app to the Apple Store and it got rejected. So now we've got to go back and figure out why it got rejected and solve those issues and get it back to be submitted again and hopefully get into the Apple Store. So it can be simple things like that that, you know, just hold up your release date and, you know, cause a lot of frustration. Or it can be bigger things where, you know, I wanted to do a pilot with Public Works, and I hope to do that, I guess, 4 months ago, but I just couldn't get the product released in time, and it's sort of just in this sort of stagnation period, and it's really frustrating to work on something for 2 years and then basically just have to accept the fact that it's going to get pushed back another 6 months and there's really nothing you can do about it. So you know, bringing people on board, working on something that you can't pay them for is a constant challenge. You know, when you're bootstrapping, you're constantly chasing after people and trying to get people to do you favors, and what they call hustling is like a daily thing. How you're gonna pay your rent, how you're gonna get food, all that stuff. It's like you're always juggling all of those things all at once. But the good news is it becomes the new normal, and it just becomes a normal part of your life, and you just learn to deal with the fact that everything's up in the air, and hopefully something will stick. So I'm the city evangelist for Elance. So here in the city of Austin, I run events for elance.com and also for odesk.com, which are actually now one of the same companies. They've merged. So I work for them, and that pays for the bulk of my personal expenses. And then I also do freelancing work on top of that. So my background is in UX design, and I provide those services to all types of different startups.